everyone. I'm Dr. Kristen, one of the good doctors of Abbey Research, and we are empathy educators who are really interested in helping people actually live together better, and not just in a hold hands and sing Kumbaya way, but in an actual cohesive, making humanity work together kind of way. And this series is in service of that. It's called Welcome to My World. And I get the privilege of chatting to fascinating folks who are different than me, which is everybody, about their work and their expertise and what they're doing in the world so that we can all learn a little bit about someone else. And today I have with me Dr. Annika Sorensen, who is a family doctor who specializes in health and stress strategies in preventative medicine. Like we all need that, don't we? My gracious. Dr. Annika has a solid background in Swedish public health care for 30 years. Today, her focus has changed from disease and health promotion, emphasizing on stress management, workplace health, and other business-related issues, mentoring stressed out business leaders to a calm and profitable leadership. I don't want to talk about how much I need that. She is an international speaker, including 2-time TEDx about stress and health, and the author of 2 top-rated books, Take Stress from Chaos to Calm and My De-Stress Diary. Dr. Annika, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for letting me come here.
Oh my gosh. There is so much wealth of knowledge that you have. And so before I just I could ask so many questions, but the first one I want to ask is, why do you focus on stress?
Yeah, why do I focus on stress? Like you said, I've been working in the healthcare system, and I had a kind of tough start when I was going to become a doctor. And I think that affected me a lot already before I actually started working with patients. Because I lost 2 dear people right when I was taking my exam. So it was my brother who was mentally ill and our firstborn daughter who had a genetic illness. And they died within 1 week. So I was kind of in the black hole.
Yeah.
And it was really, really stressful. Yeah. And, you have to find your way out.
Yeah.
And some people get stuck, and I just didn't want to be stuck. I wanted to go on with my life, and so I did. I had help from family, friends, psychologists, because when you are in that situation, you really need to take help from the ones that really know. So it was a lot of learning lessons for me before I even started to work as a doctor. Anyway, we at that time I realized that we have a lot of power to actually take care of ourselves, and that we didn't, I didn't go into buying stuff to help me. I found things in my normal life, and we had 3 more girls within a few years. I was constantly pregnant for a long time.
Wow.
And they are all, those 3 are all grown up and healthy today, and we even have a granddaughter.
Congratulations.
Thank you. She's the sweetest little princess, 3.5 years old.
Oh my gosh, such a fun age.
Yeah, they constantly talking all the time and deciding what to do or not to do, what we are supposed to do and not to do.
Of course.
Yeah. Ruling the world.
Yeah.
So anyway, if we go back, I had and then I had these 3. I had this experience, and then I had 3 kids and a full-time job as a doctor, and trying to help everyone except myself, because there was really no time to do that.
Yeah.
And let's say a little more than 10 years ago, I just was very close to that stress, your burnout thing that you could call it. And I just needed a way to help myself, because then I realized I had to take care of myself. If I walked into the stress wall, and I've seen others do that, I knew what was going to happen. I didn't want to do that. So I took a step back and I took a course in stress management, not a medical course, but a general course for anyone who wanted. And it was a long-term thing. And after 3 months, I realized, all the things that we are learning here, that's what I, as a doctor, need to help my patients with. So I actually quit my job,
Okay.
the ordinary job right then, because in the healthcare system, you are not really allowed to do preventive work. You are supposed to cure disease or illness when it's there.
Okay.
People come to you when they already have something in the
Right.
healthcare system. And I think that's more or less globally that way. Help care, self-help and prevention, you're supposed to do that outside. So that's why I quit my job and started my company. And I still work as a doctor every now and then. I've been working quite a lot now in this year with the corona to help out, because there is a tremendous lack of doctors or healthcare personnel. Because every time someone gets ill or just have a little coughing, they are not allowed to go to work. So there is always all these, there's the lack of people. That's what it is. So I've been helping out, and it's been fun. It's been very, I learned a lot, because you have to work in a different way with the shield and the,
Oh gosh, I'm
mask
sure.
and shield with everyone you meet. So it takes more time, and you have to be more careful with how you do it and what you do and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I've learned a lot. Also me, I've learned a lot, and I haven't got the coronavirus myself,
Good.
and I'm still not vaccinated. I will be in 2 weeks from now.
Okay, good. Yeah, everything's on a different schedule everywhere in the world. So
Yeah, it is.
fascinating.
So it is different. But I've been trying to figure out the best way to reach out to companies to help, especially the leadership,
Right.
because I realized when I was working as a doctor when the leadership came, they don't look for care until they are really bad at it. They are the ones supposed to help everyone else in their business when you're a leader. So you don't complain, and you don't talk about yourself, and you don't. It's not about you. It's about your personnel, and it's about the business, and it's about the customers.
Yeah.
And when they come, they dare not talk about stress or that they're stressed out, because then they think they might have a mental illness. And having a mental illness when you're a leader or a boss, that's not okay in the business world today. People are scared to death about that part.
And I mean, you're based in Sweden, but
Yeah.
we know each other through the internet. Are your clients mostly in Sweden, or do you work with international clients?
I do work with international clients too, but most of them are in Sweden.
Okay, because I was going to ask, in my just very colloquial knowledge of the world, that kind of perception of I can't have a mental health crisis and be in leadership seems to be pretty global. Has that been?
It is global. It definitely is global from what I've read and seen and talked to people. I mean, today we know so much more what mental illness really is and what is normal things in an abnormal world.
Right.
Because we are still people, or we are human beings from the savannah. We work that way, and the surrounding society is a 24/7 world that's kind of making our biology get the cramp. You know, it's you. we're not made for this.
Yeah.
And that's not mental illness. That's just this dysfunction systems.
Yeah. So would you say this kind of misunderstanding of humanity is the root of why we're so stressed?
Not the misunderstanding in itself. That's not the root of our stress. The root of our stress is the 24/7 life.
Okay.
And all those things that we think that we can do. And because we are, and it's easy in a one way, but it's complicated in the other way, because we have three basic ways to react when we get stressed, when the demands are higher than we can manage. That's what stress. That's when your stress hormones raise.
Okay.
It can be just one thing you have to do, but it's too hard for you.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be a full list. It can be one thing and it's too hard, or it can be even too little because you get bored, and that may stress you out. You feel inadequate. So that's
how I experience it a lot. If I'm not doing enough, there's something weird in my brain.
Yeah, then your stress hormones raise up, and they do that from the perspective that at that time we were hunting animals, and animals were hunting us, and we would sleep in the caves, and we would be awake in the daytime and sleep at night, and we could react by the flight, fight, and freeze, I think you say, so, and those are the same ways we kind of basically react today too. And those are not very popular. You can't beat your boss or run away from them.
Yeah, we don't have boxing rings in the middle of corporate America.
Now, maybe that would be things.
I think there'd be some people that might like that, yeah.
or I mean, the other way, to run away from them when they demand something, or fall dead to the floor, play dead, yeah. Falling to the floor with the freeze thing. That doesn't really work.
Not so much.
And those are still the reactions that we have. So when we are bombarded with all these other things that we really can't manage, we still kind of try to do the same thing, but it doesn't work. So you have to figure out how to do things in a different way. And that's the problem, that we don't have the means, or we don't understand why it is like this. And if we don't understand, and also one of the things that we need from that time is the quick fix. If we are hungry, we eat, because at that time, when you did get food, you ate.
Right.
I mean, you didn't leave anything behind. And today you have so much that you have to leave something behind. You can't eat it all. and also we wanted to have a rest, because when you were running, when you were fighting for getting the food and all that stuff, you get tired, and when you had a chance to rest, you rested. And today you become a couch potato, and that doesn't benefit us either. So those two systems are not really, they are not in line with each other, so to speak.
Okay.
And that's why, and that's the problem. And then we get all these signs when the stress hormones are too high. Then we get angry, we get in a bad temper, you get stomachache, heartache, you lose your memory, you forget things, you have to redo it, and all those things. And they kind of creep up on you because of the stress hormones being there in too high in the background. And if you keep on doing it without taking care of it, you will end up on a higher level of normal stress. and on a higher normal, it's not normal, but on a higher level. And when you're up there, then that's when the risk for all these physical things also increases, because if you go with cortisol on a high level, you get obesity, you get heart disease, hypertension, stroke, and depression when you talk about the brain. So it's these, we are in the wrong world. Said in a very easy way.
Yeah, I'm processing so much about how I know I live at that high cortisol level.
Yeah.
Because I also know the times that like I think I'm fine, and then all of a sudden I'm burned out. Like I can keep going, and then it's like I hit a wall and a ton of bricks fell on me at the same time. And I know that if I like completely understand this intellectually, if I could reformat my life to not live at that level, it would be better for me. I don't know how, which is I'm assuming kind of where you come into people's lives. So when you're working with clients, and especially business folks, on how to not live at a high cortisol level, what kind of stuff do you do with them to help them to help them fix this?
Well, first you have to get them to understand the problem. They have to see it, because if they don't see it, and then they are never going to do what I tell them, or what they want to. So that's the first step. And also, when you are in the hamster wheel and really running, all the energy you have will be used in the hamster wheel.
Okay.
Because you have to what do you say? Do quick fixes of whatever comes up. All those, you have to save everything that comes up all the time. Rescue.
Yeah.
And there is no time to think. Reflection time. Who has reflection time nowadays? Not many.
Yeah.
So they run. So my second step, after they really understand that, okay, I have to do something, I am prepared to do it, then we are going to raise their standards in how they take care of themselves.
Okay.
And we're talking about those so simple things: eat right, sleep right, move right. That's what it is. And everyone knows it in a sense, but you have to use it as tools.
Yeah.
You have to see it, put your brain into the concept that these are tools for my good feelings, my good health, for my good being, for being able to do more than just running in this hamster wheel.
Yeah, I think that's a really good reframe, because just knowing you have to do something, especially if you're in business and your whole life is geared towards returns on investment and understanding profit margins and everything else, if you can kind of see doing all of those things as a return on the investment of your own life, it's got to help the reframe a little bit. I know when I just think like, oh, I should exercise because like I should, it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder for me to do that than like, I need to do this so that I can sleep better tonight, so that I can show up better at that meeting tomorrow. Like that connection works better in my brain. So
all of these things, they connect, they are dependent on each other, and also you can say that if you start doing one little change, it will change the whole system. When you start doing things right, other things will follow.
I love it. And that is such a great place to end, because it's so incredibly hopeful. But I also know that you have so many more resources on your website and across your social medias, which I will make sure wherever you are watching or listening to this, it is in the show notes. You'll be able to connect with Dr. Annika through a variety of means. So we'll make sure that you can do that. Dr. Annika, thank you so much for joining us and for laying that out and for reminding me that I need to simply just move a little bit more sometimes. And hopefully that will decrease my cortisol levels. I'm sure I'm not the only one that needed to hear that today. And everyone else, thank you for joining us on this edition of Welcome to My World. If you've enjoyed this conversation, good news for you. I have a lot more like it. So if you hit subscribe, I have the privilege of talking to so many fascinating people, including a lot of me and Dr. Annika's mutual colleagues, we get to figure out how to communicate more effectively. And we've known each other through the internet that way for a little while. So make sure to hit subscribe. If you've liked this video, thumbs up really helps. If you've subscribed, hit the little bell so you don't miss a single thing. If you like doing empathy and equity conversations in written form, good news, we have a separate book review channel where we talk all about that stuff over there. Abby Research Reads. You can subscribe to it and on the main page of our channel as well. Dr. Annika, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was really nice.
Been an absolute pleasure. And everybody else, I'll see you next time on Welcome to My World.